Hello everyone, welcome to Taylor's Tech Talks, and today we're going to be talking WordPress. My name is Taylor Arndt, and I am a freelance WordPress developer, accessibility consultant, and trainer. I've been in the industry for 3 years now, and I have helped clients from nonprofits to government agencies with accessibility compliance in making websites. We are doing a series called WordPress Wednesdays, and we are going to be building a complete site from start to finish using WordPress. This site will be the home of our Clubhouse Club, WP for All, where we have rooms talking about WordPress, answering questions on a weekly basis. To best follow along with this series, I would recommend you do the following things. If you are blind and you're using a screen reader, WordPress tends to work better using NVDA, non-visual desktop access. If you're not familiar with this software, I will link it in the description. But this is a lot better than using JAWS because the block editor, which is what allows you to edit WordPress content, works a lot better with NVDA, and it's just a smoother experience. This is a free screen reader, so there's no additional cost to you, but there may be a little bit of a learning curve, but trust me, it's worth it. Also, I am using Google Chrome for this series. Last time, we talked to our amazing designer, Lauren Flinner, who helps design our websites on the Taylor's Accessibility Services team. We're going to be taking our site in a slightly different direction today by focusing on the content aspect, now that we have the visuals somewhat done. Recall that the first video we made, we have a roadmap that we made, and we basically outlined what kind of content we want on the site. To save you the trouble of having to see me try to come up with content and having me try to epically fail at it because my writing skills are not that great, I have written the content already, but I want to show you what I did and show you how I used our first roadmap that we created in the intro so that we are able to come up with website content. So what I did is I outlined on the first plan our objectives and the pages that we want, and also what should be on each of those pages. What I did here when I actually made the content is I followed that outline and I got rid of where it said, for example, make an intro paragraph. I replaced it with the content that I actually have for that intro paragraph. And so we kind of have a nice document that contains all of the content. It just makes it really organized. So that is kind of how I plan out websites if I were to per se write the content and do everything, which is normally not how it's done. Normally, I either work with a content writer or the client itself, but this is just kind of a figurative example, and it's a really good framework for you to be able to use if you're making your own site. So, let's talk about adding the content, because writing the content's one thing, but how do we add the content? So, in our current form, we have it in a Word document, which is great. However, if you try to paste the content from Word into WordPress, you will notice that Word's formatting gets auto-injected into it, which may not seem like a bad thing on the surface, but it kind of is. And so there are some ways that we can get the content from Word to WordPress. So enter the world of Markdown. Markdown is a plain text language that's almost like HTML or hypertext markup language, but it's much easier to use. And what it does is it allows you to write web pages or other formatted documents with ease. And you're able to, for example, write a hashtag or a number sign for a heading, a asterisk or a star, however you want to say that, for a list, and so on and so forth. That's awesome. But you may be asking yourself, but why do I have to learn another programming language? You don't. So we already know that Markdown is a really powerful tool to help us, because what it will do is it will actually render what we paste from the Word into Markdown. And then it will actually make it so that it will show up correctly on the web page. So let's talk about the Gutenberg editor. So the Gutenberg editor, aka the block editor, whatever title you want to give it, is the built-in editor for WordPress. And so every element on the editor is a block. So let's say that I have a list, that's a block. A heading, that's a block. A form, that's a block. And so websites are created and web pages are created by adding and manipulating a series of blocks. With all that being said, the Markdown will actually create the blocks automatically for you when you paste it in there. And so it really makes it nice because I don't want to have to just write my content in the WordPress editor. I don't know about you, but that just does not sound appealing. So being able to write and then have it in Markdown seems like a better idea. But you may be wondering, well, how do I get Markdown? And here's an awesome tool called Writage. So Writage is a plugin for Microsoft Word. And just for the Mac users, I have not tried this on Mac because I'm a Windows user. And I haven't really found an equivalent on Mac. But what it does is it basically will copy your Word document and with all the formatting and everything, and it will allow you to copy it as Markdown, which can be pasted in the WordPress editor or any other Markdown editor. And so it uses the Word document and creates the Markdown. And this is really awesome because I actually use this a lot for my clients because I don't want to have to try to convert all their stuff to Markdown by hand, do I? Because again, that's time and money and whatnot. So what I do is I just hit Control A. I go to my Writage tab in my menu in Word, the ribbon, and then from there, we'll go to Copy Markdown. And that will give me the whole Markdown for the Word document, and then I can paste it into WordPress. So we're going to be doing that today. So just a note about Writage. There is a free 14-day trial, and then after that, it's $29 for a single license. But trust me, if you do a lot of stuff with WordPress or you do, a lot of different stuff with Markdown and Word, I think you'll find it a worthy investment. I will throw a link in the description to the Writage, and that's where you can be able to download it and check it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy everything in this document that I have so far, and we're going to put it in Markdown, and then we're going to put it on our pages. First step, Control A. That will select the entire document.
663 characters selected.
I'm going to go to my Alt, my ribbon.
Ribbon tabs tab Control expanded. Home tab selected Alt, H2 of 13.
I'm going to go back, so left arrow.
Writage tab select. Writage grouping. Styles grouping. Normal style button apply normal style left paren. Control plus Shift plus N right paren. Alt, Y4, Y1 Control plus Shift plus N.
What I'm now going to do is I'm going to find where it says copy as Markdown. And I am tabbing back and forth here. It does take a second. There is a keyboard shortcut, but it is kind of a little convoluted. And it may change based on how many add-on tabs you have for Word.
Metadata, bold top, inline, clear, lists group, numbering toggle, increase, insert grouping, picture, link button, footnote, quote button, clipboard grouping, copy Markdown button, copy Markdown Alt, Y4, YE. Microsoft.
Okay, so what that did is I hit copy Markdown. And so now if I were to go in Notepad, which I'm going to do, I'm going to get everything in this Word document in a Markdown format. So let's explore the output by going into Notepad or any other text editor of that manner. Or you could do Word, but personally, I'm just going to open up Notepad because it's a handy-dandy trusted tool. I'm going to go to Notepad.
Run,
Paste.
Number WP for all plan.
So, hashtag WP for all plan. That's a heading level 1. And then we have
blank, number pages.
Heading level 2. And so you notice it mocks the same structure as the
blank.
Word doc.
Number, home.
Home. All right, so now this is where I want to actually copy things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this paragraph along with the latest news heading. And I'm going to put that on our homepage. And in WordPress, there are two ways to edit pages. You can either go directly to the dashboard, or if you're logged in, you can actually go to the page itself and it will say edit page in another tab. So I'm going to demonstrate both. First, I'm going to go to the dashboard. But before I go to the dashboard, I actually have to copy the content. So let's just copy all this home content. Not the about stuff, but just the home. And then we can kind of see how that works together.
Number home selected.
Actually, I don't want that H3
Welcome
there.
to blank. Blank. And we have to get there selected. Number latest news.
Okay, I copied everything that I want. So I'm going to go to wpforall.club/wp-admin or yourwebsite.com/wp-admin. And that is how we access the admin dashboard. And it may prompt you to log in, and then you'll use the same credentials that you use during installation.
/b blank
wp-admin
http://forall.club/wp-admin selected. WP for all and dash the home of the WP for all club on Clubhouse. Out of navigation landmark clickable main menu navigation landmark link. Okay.
All right, I'm in my dashboard and I'm going to navigate to pages. I press insert F7 to locate my links, and then I use P to find pages.
Elements P. Posts P. Pages all pages
All pages.
Dashboard WP for all m-WordPress Google.
I'm going to use T for tables.
Clickable main title column 2 link title. Auth date clickable select about row title column 2 visit.
And I'm going to use Control down arrow to navigate the table.
Select contact row, select events, select home row 5 visited.
I found my home.
Visited link edit left.
I'm going to go to edit.
Edit page WP for all m-WordPress document. Blank.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my edit fields, so E. I'm going to find the title of the page, and I'm going to go to the end, and that way I can get in the block editor. So recall that there are two panes here. There's the title, which has a page title, and then there's the rest of the content, or the body, which basically has all the other blocks that make up the page. So let's do that now. I'm going to press E.
Editor content region add title edit home blank.
I'm going to go Control End.
Blank.
And I will press enter.
Empty block semi. Start writing or type / to choose a block grouping multi-line editable.
Okay. At this point, we're in the block editor, and don't worry if you're very confused about the block editor. We're going to have a whole video next week called Unblocking the Block Editor, where we're going to take it one step at a time, and we're going to show you how to navigate, because I have gotten a lot of comments on people who are like, the block editor is not accessible, or Gutenberg, it's not accessible for blind, and you should go to the classic editor, which is pre-version 5.0. But in the next video, where we talk about unblocking the block editor, I will show you some tips and tricks and some ways of navigating the block editor that make it more bearable. But for now, all we're going to be doing is pasting content anyways, so what we are doing is fine. Now, if this is your first time visiting one of your pages, you will probably have a tutorial that says welcome to the block editor. In this case, you can just feel free to dismiss it. It's not very helpful for us blind people, but if you really want to go for it, you can. But I haven't really found a lot of value in it. Right now, what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to paste in the content that we got from our Markdown and watch what happens. Ready?
Paragraph block.
Okay, so what happens? So we have our paragraph block, and we also have our heading block. And so in the Unblocking the Block Editor next week, you're going to learn about how to navigate different blocks. But just as a synopsis here, if you press up and down arrow in the block editor, that will take you between blocks. So I'm going to do that now.
Edit block : heading grouping multi-line editable blank.
Okay, so what that did is it got our heading block and our paragraph block and rendered them from the Markdown. And the best part is we don't have any word styles or any of that stuff. It's literally just pure WordPress. It looks the same. And this is kind of how I like to do my posts and pages and whatnot. So we have now been able to add content. What I will do now is I need to update the page. So in WordPress, whenever you first make a page, you're going to publish it. So publishing is first, and then when you update or any subsequent time after you edit the page, then you're going to look for something called update. So publish is when you first make a page. Update is when you update. So what I like to do here is one of two things. I like to either A, I'll just use my buttons, so B, to find the update button, or I'll actually use my screen reader find commands to find the update button, because there are a lot of buttons here and that could take up a lot of time. So I'm going to demonstrate the latter method. I'm going to get out of this content area by pressing escape. I'm going to do a control home. I'm going to do a control insert F.
Find dialog.
Again with NVDA. I'm going to type update.
Edit clickable editor top bar region button update.
And I'm going to press enter.
Updating. Unavailable.
Okay.
Unavailable. Page updated.
Perfect. So we just updated our page. That sounds great. All right. Now, we need to do this again with our about page, right? So we have our home and we have our about pages written, and that's what we're going to focus on today. So we're going to do this the other way now. So instead of going in through the dashboard, I'm going to show you how to do it from the website itself if you're logged in. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to open up the website
Selection
again.
WP for all and dash the home. Out of list main landmark heading level 1 home. Welcome to the WP for all club. This is home of the WP for all club on Clubhouse.
So obviously you can see that our content is here, which is awesome. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look for the about page. And that way I can add the about content on here. So, let's see here. I'm going to...
Nav, link events, visited link about. About and dash WP
now,
for all document.
I'm going to go to my F7 links. So insert F7. And I'm going to find my edit page. So this is what you can do if you're logged in. And it will allow you to edit the page without going through the dashboard. Okay.
Elements E. About and dash WP for all dash Google Chrome dash Taylor. About and dash WP for all document. Out of list clickable toolbar navigation landmark list.
I'm going to find my edit field.
Clip
about.
Empty block sem.
I'm in my empty block. I'm going to paste in the content for the about page, but we need to actually get it from our notepad file that we had open. So I'm going to go back to that notepad file.
Star number about blank WP for new learning from other members are place for
copy that content.
Edit page.
Call it
paragraph block grouping multi-line editable blank.
I'm now going to update this. So all I did again was the same process. I copied it from the Markdown and pasted it directly into the content area. And let's update this.
Out.
So control insert F.
Clickable editor top bar. Updating. Unavailable. Unavailable. Page updated.
Alrighty. Looks like our content is up. That's what we're going to do today. I hope you guys had a great day. Feel free. Next time, we're going to be talking about that Gutenberg editor or the block editor. And we're going to be talking about tips on how to use it if you're blind, because this is a very controversial topic and it needs to be discussed. So next week, we are going to have a video dedicated to how to use the block editor with a screen reader. And so you do not want to miss that. But for now, that is it. I will talk to y'all later. If you liked today's video, you can do a couple things to stay up to date with our latest videos and tutorials. You can visit the Taylor's Tech Talks website for the home of all of the Taylor's Tech Talks podcasts, YouTube, and blog posts with interactive transcripts for each video and podcast. In addition, if you would like to support this channel, I have a couple ways of doing so. You can support me using affiliate links in the description. Disclaimer, I do get a kickback, but the money goes directly to support the channel and podcast. In addition, you may become a member at TaylorsTechTalks.com for just $1 a month, and that will get you access to the community Discord server. $3 a month will get you access to Honorable Mention and the Discord, and $5 a month will get you early access to all videos. Speaking of sponsors and members, I want to thank our sponsors, who are our great members at TaylorsTechTalks.com. And if you would like to become one of those, you may sign up and join the community. I hope you like this tutorial, and be sure to check back every week for new videos as they become added, and check Taylor's Tech Talks frequently. And if you would like to hear this in a podcast form, you may visit Taylor's Tech Talks on Apple, Spotify, Google, and wherever you like to get your podcasts. I hope you guys have a great day. I will talk to you soon.